Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first webinar of our set of four. I am Eleonora, and I'm working as a youth worker and an educator for people with disability in Associazione Uniamoci that is based in Palermo, in Italy. So this is set of webinars is the final part of our Erasmus Plus partnership that is called iTech Youth Work. So this webinar is going to be held by us and the other webinars by the other partners of this project. Enter the ICT world to involve young people is really important because we are working with them and they are so interested in ICT that we need to speak the same language. And also using the ICT is very important because we have also the possibility to make it easier even for us to facilitate the activities. So I'm going to share with you a presentation. Just a moment. So our webinar is about some tips about on how to make youth work more interactive through the use of ICT. What we want to obtain is to share with you some tools to innovate your work, to obtain more interaction with young people. And we are going to give you some online and free resources that will give you new ideas about how to change your usual activities, like changing your usual way to work into an ICT mode. The first tool that we want to present you is Padlet. You can find it at www.padlet.com and it allows you to create online boards in a very easy way, and also they are also very fun to read and to contribute to. In the next slide you will have I will show you how they will look. What you have to do after login into Padlet is to choose a pre-made template or go bold with a blank slate. Invite collaborators to add content, comment, like, and make edits in real time. And then you can share the final result. You can share it just like a link, but you can also download the PDF or an image, so you will obtain also a shareable result. For what you can use Padlet in youth work? You can use it to facilitate the sharing of expectations, fears, personal contributions. We have done it during our last youth exchange, and this is how we collect expectations from the participants. So we created in advance this Padlet with this image that for us represents expectations, like the Christmas Eve. And we wrote this title: think about the week that we are going to spend together and the activities that we are going to do. What would you like to happen? What would you like to learn? What would you like to bring home? And then we shared the link on the Facebook group of the project. So at a given time, it appeared in the Facebook group, and we asked the participants to open it and start to think about their expectations and fill the form. So the participants don't need to register to Padlet. They just click on the link and they can start to write. In this box, in this web box, they can just type and then publish. And what is nice is that they can upload not just text, but also images or web link or pictures. So the process can be can become also very funny and very interactive. We made the same also for fears. So we choose this other image that represents fears. We wrote some text to guide the participants, and we said to the participants, now it's time to open the next link and to think about your fears about our project. And they started to feel it. And the same about personal contribution. Every time we choose a different cover picture. And it is useful, we think, because generally this kind of activity can be very boring, because the participants, or individually or in groups, they have to think about, and then they have to, I don't know, to take the post-it, and then we have to read all together in a group. It takes long, and it's sometimes very boring. In this way, it's also funny, because you can open this Padlet on your computer, and if you have a projector, you can project the Padlet on the wall, so that in real time the participants can see one comment after the other that is added, and then at the end you can read and everybody can see. And to do that, they just need their phone. And something else that you can do with Padlet and YouthWork is to collect the participants' contributions. For example, during another project, we wanted to collect some ideas about art, youth, and society. So we asked to the participants to upload images and text to represent these three aspects, and this is the results. It's very nice, and then you can also download it as a PDF or a JPEG and share on Facebook, on your website, and it's already a result. The next tool we want to show you is WordArt. The website is wordart.com, and it allows to create online word clouds with a shape and colors that you prefer. So you don't need prior knowledge of graphic design, and it's very fun playing with word cloud art, experimenting with plenty of options and seeing the results after each visualization. You can customize every bit of word cloud art, including words, shapes, fonts, colors, layout, and more. It's also for free, but the quality of the final result that you can download, it's not very good, but it's still very good for sharing on Facebook, for example. Not good for printing a t-shirt, but it's good for Facebook or your website. So you have just to log in. For what you can use wordart.com in YouthWork. It's very useful to brainstorm and create a word cloud to be shared on social media. We made it for a project that was about social inclusion. So we choose this kind of shape for our word cloud, and we choose these different colors, like the rainbow colors. And then how it worked, we open it, and we asked the participants to brainstorm about social inclusion. So in advance, we prepared just the shape and choose colors and the layout. And then with the participants, we started to add words here. So one participant said kindness, another empathy, and so on. So we started to fill this, and the words, when we click on visualize, they appear in this space. So after a couple of words, you can click on visualize, and you can already see the beautiful result. And then from this page, easily, when the brainstorming is finished, you can already share the image on Facebook. And it was very nice. The participants really liked it, and a lot of them used this image as cover picture for their Facebook profile. This is another example that we made also about a brainstorming, and we created it during this project high-tech youth work, and it's about the advantages of using digital tools for learning, training, and self-development. This is another tool we want to show, and it's called ActionBound. You can find it at actionbound.com. ActionBound is an app, an online software also for playing digitally interactive scavenger hunts to lead the learner on a path of discovery. Create the bound. You have to create the bound on your personal computer, and then you have to share it with your participants. You can use a QR code or a link. The participants need to download the app, but just one person in the group. And they have to scan the code or click on the link and just start to play. You can follow their hunt from your personal computer. ActionBound will notify you the winner and also the results from all the groups. For what ActionBound can be useful, it's very nice to be used to structure a city game or a group building activity. It depends on the topic that you choose for your game. If you log in on ActionBound, this is the page that you will find when you click on New Bound. So this is what you can do. You can create stages, and they are needed to structure the sections within your bound. But if you are going to make a simple one, there is no need to use these stages. For example, we never use them. Then you can add information for sure to a welcome message for the participants. Then you can add quiz. Let the participants find the right answer in order to earn points or to get ahead. Then you can also create missions. That means to assign the participants a creative, solvable task for which there is no right or wrong answer. It can be, for example, do a specific task and then upload a picture of your group, something like this. And then we have also find a spot. So you can decide, for example, if it is a city game, you can decide that the participants has to go in a specific place, and you can upload there the map of the place, so they have to follow the road and finally get to the place. Then you can also add the code to be scanned in order to gain some points. You can add surveys or tournament. This means that you can allow the members of the team to play against one another at random. For example, if you decide that you want to create a quiz, if you click on quiz, this is what will appear on your desktop, and so you can easily fill it. You can add the question here, but to make it also more good looking, you can add pictures or videos or even a song, for example, or a link. It depends on what kind of quiz are you creating. Then you click here to add the answer. It can be multiple answer or a close answer. It depends on what you decide, and you could also give time limit if you like it. And then to decide how many points the participants are going to get. This is an example of a quiz that we created in a city game for our participants. So here we put the picture of a very important cultural place in Palermo, and we put some art information about this place, and then we ask them to answer the question. This theater has an inscription on the top. So we asked to the participants to translate it in Italian for sure, and they have to find the right meaning among the one we proposed them. So we put 4 different options, and we marked the right one. They had the possibility only to make 1 attempt, and they had also penalty for incorrect answer. The best is when you can directly open this game to understand how beautiful it is and how the participants can fall in love with it. So if you download ActionBound app in your phone, you can scan this code, and you cannot play because it is a city game about Palermo, so how can you do that? But you can just see how it is organized, and it's a very beautiful example. Anyway, I will upload this presentation on the Facebook page so that you can easily then scan the code even later. Another interesting tool we want to present to you is Kahoot. I think that some of you already knows that because it's usually used by the Lithuanian participants during the multicultural night, and I learned it from them, and I started to use it. It's very nice, and it makes it easy to create, share, and play fun learning games or trivia quiz in minutes. So what you have to create is to log in Kahoot, to create your quiz, share the game pin with the participants, ask the participants to open Kahoot web page on their mobile phones, and just start to play. You will need a projector because the questions will be shown through the facilitator Kahoot account. And for what can it be useful in Youth Exchange? To structure a quiz on a specific topic or as a group building activity. When you will open your profile on Kahoot, you can choose if you want to create a quiz, a jumble, or a survey. We are going to show you something about quiz. So if you click on New, you have to add the title and description of the quiz, and also you can add pictures, and it makes it good looking. You can decide also who can see your game, the language. You can also add an intro video. It will be very funny for the participants. And then you can start to add questions. Not just the question, but you can decide the time limit, like 20 seconds. And then the answer, you have to tick which one or which ones are the right answers. And you can also always upload images or videos, and it will make the game more interesting. This is an example of a quiz that we created for about Youth Pass. So here we asked the question. We decided that the time limit was 30 seconds. And then here there are the answers, and these are the 2 right answers. When you finish to add questions to your quiz, this is what will appear on your desktop. So you have the possibility to decide if you want to have a classic quiz, like player versus player, and team versus team. The participants, when they will try to open the Kahoot website on their mobile phones, will find this kind of page. So they have just to enter the PIN. The next step, when are you creating the quiz, is this. So you will have your PIN that you can share with the participants using the projector, for example. So you project this slide, and at the same time that the participants are inserting the game pin and adding their name, you will see the number of players and also the name of players here. So you can see if you have 15 young people, you can wait till all the 15 people are in, and then you can start the game. It's possible, as we see before, to play one against one, or the participants can make some groups and play just with one mobile phone per group. So, as I told you, we created one about Youth Pass to be played one against one, and at the end we got a Youth Pass expert that was rewarded with a badge. It was very nice to do that, because usually also this activity about explaining what is Youth Pass and what are the key actions, the key competencies, for Youth Pass is a very long and tiring activity, and all the participants are very bored. But playing a game that will have a winner make them enthusiastic. So if you want to use this quiz that we created for Youth Pass, here is the link, and it's reusable. But you can also create a new one, because now you know how to do that. Now we are going to talk a little bit more about how to turn traditional activities on high-tech mode. So about evaluation. You can easily copy traditional daily evaluation using a Google module. Why? Because it's more interactive. So in a given time, all the participants are reflecting, then listening, and there is no waiting. And then because you can keep it anonymous, because when you make like evaluation games in groups, well, you are listening, and while the participants are speaking, and maybe they don't feel comfortable to say bad things. In this way, they can say whatever they like, because you won't never know who was to write that. And then it's also useful to keep a report, because all the impressions of the participants are registered, and you can later share with your colleagues, or use for some analytics, etc. What do you have to do to create an evaluation on using a Google module? You have just a Google form. You have just to look for Google form on your Google Drive account, and you have to start to create your evaluation. Then you have to share it with the participants, for example, programming a post with the link on the Facebook group of the project. While they are filling the evaluation form, you have to connect your personal computer with the projector and show the responses page. It will update itself automatically as soon as one more participant will fill the form. Read the graphics and text to the group and comment. So these are some examples. For example, maybe do you remember this evaluation? Let's evaluate with a smiley when maybe we say, today we made this activity, can you vote how it was? And the participants have some smileys, one with smiley face, the other with a sad one, and so on. This is an ICT version of it. So on the Google form, we wrote, I was today globally, think about activities, your feelings, learning, and they have the possibility to tick on very good or nice or neutral, bad, annoying even. And then there is the space also so that they can add some words, some comments, and then they can submit the form. The other one is the target evaluation. We also recreated it online. So we just put the picture of a target, and the participant can choose if they want to put themselves at 0.5, 6, 7, 8, more or less close to the center. If they feel more good, they will put themselves more closer to the center. And then also about the evaluation groups. Because usually, sometimes we organize these evaluation groups at the evening so that these families will get together and talk about the day. And then there will be like a reporter who will come to the organizer and share what's about his group. This is a tool that can facilitate this process, because you will share with the participants this Google form, and they can just discuss, and the reporter can write like a summary of the discussion here. So you will get together all these impressions from the participants. Then the next step, after you share with the participants the Google form for evaluation, is that you have to open the Google form on your computer connected with a projector, and instead of questions, you have to click on responses, and this is how the responses will appear. So it's a very graphical way that gives in a moment the impressions about how the activity, how the day was. And also here there is like the free test that participants could add, so you can read to the group what came out, and you can give your comments. So as ActionBound, we want to share with you this evaluation form we created with the smileys. So later you can click on this link and see how the Google form looks. And if you are not very used to Google Forms, you can also watch this tutorial about the use of Google Forms. It will be very useful if you never created one, even if it's very simple. What else can you do with Google Forms? You can create a Google form also for the facilitators or moderators during a word cafe or discussion in small groups. So each facility, you have to prepare this form, one for each group, and each facilitator has just to open the form, write the name of his group, and fill the dedicated field with a summary of the participants' contributions to the discussion. Once the form is sent by the facilitator or moderator, the youth worker who is managing the activity will have the activity results available in an Excel file for sharing, comment, and create deliverables. What usually happens is that the participants just write the summary in handwriting, and it's very difficult sometimes to understand something. So after they share with the whole group, you cannot understand anything more, and it's very difficult to create maybe a result, some deliverables. In this way, you will have all the text, and you can easily understand it, and it's very easy to create results and respecting what the participants really shared during their discussions. Then what else you can do is also to use some ICT tools for workshop on specific social topics. So if you want to stimulate young people reflection on relevant social issues, you may use video making or meme as vehicles. So what you have to do is to assign a specific topic to a small group, and also give some tips about video making or photography. And about this, if you will follow the next webinars, you will get a lot of knowledge. And then this is optional. You can give some informative material on the topic to the participants. So, for example, you can find on the web some material and charge them on a Padlet or on a Google Drive or on a Dropbox folder, and you can share the links on the Facebook groups, or you can also create QR codes that address to those materials, and it will be interesting for the participants to find the material then online. Or the participants can even look for some information by themselves. And then you have to give specific instructions, like time that they have at their disposal, contents of the results, for example, promotion of a positive attitude, or the programs or online tools that they can use, or logos that need to put in the result, or where to share the products, etc. For example, about the use of meme to raise social awareness, we had an activity with young people, a workshop, and this was one of the pictures that they created about prejudice. And for them it's very funny to do the activity, but at the same time they have to think about the social problem that they are addressing. So it's also learning. And here we want to share with you some useful links. For example, Code Generator. You can find it at qrcodegenerator.com. Meme Generator, but there are also some other links about it, a lot on the web, and also a free video editing software. Maybe you have to share them with the participants as well, because not always the computers that maybe you have at your disposal have a good video editing software. And then what is also important is free background music, because if in a video if you are going to publish a video on YouTube, for example, you need free music, or it will be without audio in some weeks. So this is everything that I wanted to share with you. If you want, I hope that you enjoyed our time together. And if you have some questions, now you have some minutes to write them. Anyway, I'm going to publish this presentation on the Facebook page of the project, so that you can also click on the links. And if you want to see the scavenger hunt of Palermo, you can also try it on ActionBound. If you want to receive a certificate of participation for this webinar, you can send a request to uniamoci Eleonora at gmail.com for this and also for the other webinars. And I want to leave you with this beautiful phrase from Albert Einstein. So somebody wrote that it's possible also to use SurveyMonkey for surveys, and yes, I also used it in the past. Yes, the emails for the certificate I can yes, I can put again here, and also I can write in comments. I'm really glad that a lot of you enjoyed this webinar. Thank you very much for listening. And if you have other questions in the future, feel free to contact me, or to make some questions also on the Facebook page. Thank you very much. Have a good Valentine's evening.